Hey guys, it's Toby Morrison here. Welcome to this video where I want to talk to you about a couple of things that I have noticed in a fair few people who are stuck, who are struggling, and basically aren't moving forwards or proactively moving forwards in the now and in the future rather than staying stuck in the past. And welcome to everybody who joins, and if you're watching the replay, then please hit the like button so that I can see that you've seen it and that I know that this is useful and helpful. And these are just suggestions, but yeah, if you're interested in a suggestion, then I definitely think you should listen to this. So one of the things that I know is that if you're human, you probably had some great times over the Christmas period, but you also probably had some hard times too. And it's easy to get swept up in the chaos and, really let it affect you. And even now, it could be still affecting you by you remunerating around it and on it, that you're actually not looking after yourself and doing the things that one, will help you, that two, will help you get out of that, not stinking thinking, but kind of stuck in the past and not moving forwards. And what I mean by that is basically we have a choice. And, the choice is, do you want to focus on what you don't want and what's happened that you can't change? Or do you want to focus on what you do want and what you can change? Now that might sound really harsh, but it's actually true. And so, I noticed a couple of people, even myself, the other day, had a hard situation over the Christmas period, really frustrating and upsetting and all those kinds of things. And it's so easy to stay stuck on that, but what has happened has happened. And when you accept that what has happened has happened, then it's like, okay, there's no need to continue talking about or thinking about that problem. What can I do for myself, for my life, to change right now to help me? And, one's empowering and one's disempowering. The empowering one is, okay, what can I do to help myself right now? What can I do to make the changes for me? The other one is disempowering, where I go, this person shouldn't have done that. This person shouldn't have done this. It's so unfair. It's, this shouldn't have happened. And basically what I'm saying is when you're in resistance to something, it's harmful. It's not a nice feeling to be in. And so I just wanted to share that reminder with you is, are you focusing on what you don't want, or are you focusing on what you do want? And it sounds so simple. If you can hear me and see me, just comment below yes, just so I know that you're with me. I know there's a lot of people watching right now, which is really cool. And to answer your question, we've got Kirsten here. Can we check you're okay, Toby, and not near any fires? I'm absolutely fine. A lot of people are actually fine. There's a lot of Australians donating right now to a lot of charities. Unfortunately, there is a lot of Australia that is obviously struggling. So our thoughts and prayers are with them, and hopefully, we get the right funding and eventually the fires are going to burn out and people can kind of rebuild from there. But yeah, it is pretty scary. But back to what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Thanks, Laurie. Thanks, Rachel. And so, this is just a really, really simple reminder that we all need sometimes. And that is, am I focusing on what I don't want, which is resistance? Or are we focusing on what we do want? And this can be a lot of things. And I'd ask you, where is your focus at? A lot of people, for their New Year's resolutions is, I don't want this and I don't want that. And, I don't want to be around these people. And, these people are either too negative or they're too positive. And I just ask yourself, like, is that actually helping you get the life that you want? Is your thinking and your thought process around what you're thinking and feeling, is that moving you towards the life that you want? And if it isn't, hey Judy, if it isn't, you know, as a suggestion to yourself, am I interested in maybe changing that? Do you guys get that? Just comment below if you understand that. Hey, Lynn. So, you know, like I said before, there's this which is stuck in resistance, which is saying what happened isn't okay, and I'm going to continue being angry and frustrated and pissed off and sad about it. Or I'm going to say on this side, what's happened has happened. What can I do about it for myself now? Hey, Lee. So there's two choices. There's, I don't like what happened and this is causing me stress and I'm just going to stay here and because I'm pissed off and upset. Or what's happened's happened. What can I do about it? What can I do about it? Nick says, so what are you getting at? What am I getting at? I'm getting at basically you get a choice right now. You know, and if you're on the other side of the fence where you're living the life that you want and you're moving towards what you want and you're focusing on what you want and you're doing what you want, then continue doing that. What I'm getting at is if you're on the other side, which I've noticed that it's very easy to get on that side, which is I'm focusing on what I don't want. I'm pissed off and angry at a situation or a circumstance that I can't change the past about, but I'm still living there because I'm constantly thinking about it and getting so pissed off and frustrated and actually not focusing on what you're doing or moving forwards on, then, you know, it can be detrimental to any progress that you want to make. Nick says, are you referring to how we deal with chronic illness? I'm referring to how you deal with anything right now, whether it's chronic illness, whether it's relationship, whether it's your health, whether it's your life direction. Laurie says, finally starting to get to the point and agree. Easy to default, so it takes effort. Yes, thank you, Laurie. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's so easy to stay in there. And hey, like that's okay. If you want to stay there, you can. You get a choice. You can choose to stay in that decision of F this person or F, you know, screw this situation. This is unfair. It shouldn't be this way. And we've all been there. You know, it's welcome to the club of being a human. But what I'm suggesting is maybe, you know, that might not be so useful for you. And what I know, based off results of what I've seen within myself, the results that I've seen in other people with chronic illnesses, with life-threatening disease and suffering, is that the people that stay on that side of the fence where they stay in indecision, they stay in frustration, they stay in fear, they stay in anger and resistance basically, is nothing changes. They actually feel worse and they feel shit about it. And a lot of people use the blame, or other people just don't do anything about it. They stay stuck. And to be honest, we've all been there. It's easy to do. As Laurie said, it's, you know, she said, I'm finally starting to get to that point and agree. She said it's easy to default, so it does take effort. And then, like I said before, it's like the people on the other side that I've seen make the decision. Okay, well, this sucks, and this has happened, and it's not what I wanted, but that, you know, it is what it is. What can I do now? Are the ones that you can see instantly when I say that. You can imagine, you can see that the people actually start to take physical steps and actual progress. And so, what I'm saying, there's no right or wrong, it's just what's useful, you know? Does that make sense? And I just wanted to jump on as a reminder, because I know myself, it's so frustrating when you're stuck and you're in a cycle of resistance and basically not accepting what has been and what is. It's really, really frustrating, and it just prolongs suffering longer than it has to. And so you can end it like that and go, okay, what can I do right now? And I don't mean, hey, listen, like there's a lot of people on here who are going to go, oh, you're just saying, you know, you've got to snap out of it and you've got to think positively. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying think proactively, not positively. I'm saying, what can you do right now? Not like, oh, my life's great even when it's not. Does that make sense? just comment yes below so so that, you know, I understand that you guys get it, and if you don't, I'm happy to elaborate even further. And I'd even like to use some examples. Hey, Angelica. I'd even like to use some examples. Katie, hey, Katie Stewart. Nice to see your name again. Yep. Hey, Tori. Hey, Julia. Cool. Julia's in our mentorship program at the moment, and one thing that I noticed, you know, we have like a weekly check-in where we have an accountability check-in, and this is for our private members. But one of the cool things that's happening that I'm seeing is this acceptance in some people, and Julia, you'll get that. You'll get that because you're doing it right now, and it's not about resisting where you're at. It's about going, okay, this is where I'm at, and you know, yeah, maybe I did some things that didn't help me, but I'm also not going to beat myself up about it, and I'm just going to enjoy what I've done, and then I'm going to go and build on what I can do from now. Physically, mentally, emotionally, practically, whatever you can do. Judy says, yes, you helped Erin Enright turn around. Thanks, Judy. I know Erin and I did an interview recently, and excuse me, you probably saw it. And you know what I'll say to your comment, I helped Erin Enright turn around. Yeah, I did to a degree. I think it was just my viewpoint, you know, my viewpoints, and obviously the online program, the step-by-step process that she followed that helped her. But ultimately, Erin Enright turned it around. Erin Enright took the steps, you know. Maybe I was the instigator, which is cool. But at the end of the day, Erin Enright took the turns, and she changed it around for herself, which is really cool. Kirsten says, the question, what can I do right now, is a really good question because it pulls you into the present. I guess it's interrupting those thought processes that aren't helpful. Brilliant. What can I do right now? What's my next best step? And ultimately, you get to choose. You get to choose what the next best step is. Whether that means, all right, I'm going to rest. All right, I'm not going to deal with this conflict right now. All right, I'm just going to stop complaining for a while. All right, I'm going to take responsibility for what I can do. All right, I'm going to eat healthy today. All right, I'm going to drink some water. All right, I stuffed up. I'll put my hand up and take responsibility for that. You know, these are the things that we can do. Guys, does that make sense? Hit the like button if it does so I can see some thumbs up. You know, if this is helpful as well. If it's helpful, hit the love button so I know that you are finding it really useful. There we go. There we go. There's a few. Yep. Cool. And this is, brilliant. There's lots of people hitting that. That's cool. You guys are getting it and liking it. So that's really good. And it's something so simple. And it was funny, I was talking to a guy the other night over dinner, a really nice guy, and quite self-responsible and pretty, you know, takes responsibility for his life. And he said, and I was explaining to him what I did. He asked what I do, and he said, so you help people basically do the things that they know are helpful for them. And he's like, but this stuff's so simple. And I'm like, it's simple, but it's very hard to put into practice when we are struggling, when we've got, you know, life situations and circumstances that aren't really that helpful. And so, you know, yes, it might sound simple, but even what we're talking about right now sounds simple, but it's so hard to make that jump sometimes and just like pull ourselves back into ourselves and go, all right, what can I do? What do I need to do to like get me back into that rhythm and process? And Rachel, you know, Rachel just had a comment here. This is what I'm talking about. Hey, Ali, Mrs. McConnell, and Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Rachel, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's that resistance, and you know, what's happened has happened. You know, and what happened sucks. Sounds like it. It's not nice. It's not enjoyable. And then there's that again. You can come back to that choice. It's like, am I going to keep resisting what has happened, what has already happened, or Or can I just change what I can change, or just do what I can do? And those two steps can make a big impact. Because at the end of the day, and this is a harsh reality, it's hard to hear, and even myself, when I have to hear it myself, sometimes it's quite challenging, but it's like, well, you know, like, I can either sit here in my misery and just suck and not enjoy it and fight against what actually is currently happening, or I can just go, what can I do right now? You know, what can I change? What can I do? And from there, at least notice some stability and some momentum and movement in your life. Julia says, it's not simple as we're told our symptoms are static. Yeah, even the simple things are hard to do sometimes, and it's the simple things that make the biggest difference, isn't it? Lynn Dickinson says, a recent example, got a letter the other day, not at all happy with it, so got in touch with them to ask to sort the information that was sent. Not dwelling on it now, know it will get sorted out, even though it will take time. If not happy with the result, we'll get back to them. Takes time to get there, but it does work. Would have worried about it before, but rushing to put it from my mind, exactly. But refreshing to push it from my mind. Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? It's just pulling yourself back, reframing it and going, all right, well, what can I do? And, you know, I know there's going to be a lot of people on here going, well, you're just saying it's positive thinking and, you know, you're saying it's all in the mind and, you know, yada, yada. Well, it's like, well, fuck, you get a choice, you know? Fine. Keep doing what you're doing if that's working for you. But if it's not, then, you know, maybe this suggestion might be helpful, because I know it's been helpful in my life. So, you know, guys, does that make sense? Just either comment yes, or you can share an example, you know, and if you have a question, please just comment below. Katie says, sometimes the simplest things are the hardest when you are deep in struggle, but doable with the right mindset and support system. Exactly. And that's what it's all about. You know that, Katie, which is really cool. Laurie says, I think it is also important to reframe how we feel our life should be. Yeah, and I think that's the other thing. And this is what I'm going on. You know, this whole topic is exactly that. It's like, you know, stop wishing your life to be a certain way, or it should be this, or it shouldn't have been like this. And just be like, be a hero and just be like, fuck, well, what can I do now? You know? Yeah. What can I do? What's in my control? And really focus on your life. Like, at the end of the day, that's what's most important. Cool. We've got a fair few people joining on, which is really cool. If you missed the start, what I was really talking about is one, don't wish don't wish your life to be different. You've got to do. You can't just keep sitting there going, oh, hopefully, you know, just wish it got better. It's like, no, you can't sit on the fence on that. You really have to make a decision on whether you're going to actually do something about it or not do something about it. And not doing something about it is absolutely fine, as long as you're not beating yourself up about not doing anything about it. But like I said before, there's two sides of the fence. There's this side, which is, I'm in resistance to what's happened. I'm in resistance to what's happening. I don't like what is, and I'm getting frustrated and I'm pissed off, and I'm trying to change something that I can't change, and that's called being stuck. And then there's this other side, which is the other side of the fence, which is the doing proactive part, which goes, I don't like what happened, but it is what it is. What's happened. What is happening, but what can I do about it right now for myself? What can I do? Okay. Kate says, how do you get your mind into that mindset? I'm really struggling with how to do it. Well, I've just kind of suggested exactly what to do. And it's as simple as that. It's, you know, if you want something practical, more than what I just said, is one thing that you can do is write a little letter to yourself. It can be literally three lines long or a paragraph long. It can be, you know, from your higher self, and asking yourself, all right, well, what do I need? what works for me and what's going to help me move forwards, even if it's just the smallest thing. You know, you don't need to start with something huge. It can be very, very small. You know, and that's what I would suggest. And the other thing, guys, is you cannot wait for things to feel good. You have to do it and then it will feel good, if that makes sense. But usually what happens is people wish and wait for things to change and then they think they'll change, but the problem is it never comes around. So sometimes we need to build momentum. There's going to be days, or there's going to be a time where you don't want to start what you're doing. You don't want to start the whole process. But in the starting of the process, even when you don't feel like it, is when it's going to build momentum for you. And so I just wanted to get on and do this reminder for you because I know how important it is to do that. My absolute pleasure, Kate. Writing things down sounds like a great idea. I think that would really help. Yeah. Lucy Dell, welcome. Yeah, so that's one thing that you can definitely do is, you know, write down what works for you. You know yourself better than most people. There might be one or two people in your life that know you better than you, but in terms of your habits and behaviors and what works for you and what doesn't work for you, but like just pick out like 3 things that work for you and try and stick to that. And again, the biggest message that I have is getting out of that resistance of what is and into the play of what can I do now, you know. And what can I do now might mean do nothing, and that's totally okay too. Rachel says, makes total sense. I'm in the UK and have insomnia tonight and stumbled on this call, so thank you so much. I haven't signed up for your program, but get your emails, which are amazing and really do help, so thank you. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. And you know, I think this call was made for you because it sounds like you've been going through a really tough time, and hopefully this is the call that helps you change that trajectory for yourself. Guys, if this makes sense, just hit the love button. If this was helpful, hit the love button so I know that, you know, these are really useful. Sometimes I feel like, you know, it can come across a little bit harsh, but it's not harsh. It's just like, it's just a viewpoint. And so there's no wrong or right. I don't want to make you wrong. I'm not making you wrong. You know, yeah, we all, you know, right or wrong, just do what works for you. If what you're doing is working, awesome. If you like what you're doing, then keep doing it. But I know there's a lot of people who are not where they want to be, or are in the situation that they are probably stuck in, and they want to be out of that. And you know, I'm that type of person too. So that's why I wanted to jump on and do this call for you guys, to help you get started. So the moral of the story is, don't wish, just do. Do what you can. Stay within your limits. You know, there's no right or wrong, but just stay within your limits. Do what's appropriate, but do what works for you. And just catch yourself. Like, ask yourself. Judy says, you just inspired me to take a walk. Awesome. You know, so that's the other thing is, you know, yeah, it's like, just choose between, all right, I'm not doing what I want to do, or focusing on what you do want. But just be mindful of like what your goals are and what you're putting out there. You know, if you're saying that, you know, if you're saying that, you know, I don't want this and I don't want that, and you're constantly focusing on what you don't want and what's not working, you're most likely gonna get more of that. And like, you know that, and I know that because we've done it before, you know, and it's very easy to stay there. But when we get reminders like this and go, you know what's happened, what can I do about it now? It just moves the needle towards a better direction to where you want to go. So that's all I want to do, is jump on this call and say that. You know, and I can see a few of you guys are members of the online recovery program, and you know, we've got a few VIP members who are in the group mentorship program, which has been amazing. And you know, if you need that extra help this year, if you need that guidance, if you just want to get that switch and get that help to really just make some subtle, beautiful changes and notice that calm progression and change within yourself, you know, I'd love to help you and be that help for you that so many of you guys have been through before. I know my calendar is really booked out already this month. In fact, it's totally full. However, what I will do is there may be a couple of cancellations in this month, maybe 2 or 3 out of all the calls that I have in order to join the program. Julia, who's commenting here, is actually in the mentorship program. If you want, Julia, you've only been in there a short time, but feel free to comment below what you've gained from it, or if you think it's worth it or valuable for the short period of time that you've been in. As someone who is on the inside of it, who, you know, has everything in there and gets the accountability and jumps on the group calls, I know you've made a fair shift already, which is really cool to see. Just from our accountability check-ins. Yeah, so if you want to be on the cancellation list, feel free to send me a message, or if you want, actually just comment below. Waitlist, and what I'll do is send you a message and we'll get you on the waitlist. Obviously, first in best dress in terms of who gets in priority. So just comment below waitlist if you want to talk about getting help and just being guided and having that accountability and having some amazing coaches in your corner to help you. Not only me, but we've got an amazing mindset shift coach who comes in for some monthly sessions, and we've got all kinds of things that are really helpful and are going to support you on your journey and make it a lot easier, and maybe just give you the perspective that you need in order to make those shifts, you know, through your life, to make it 1, easier, 2, more simple, and 3, progressive, and actually, you know, really to enjoy the life that you want to live and do more of the things that you enjoy. Like, that's really what it's about. So, like I said before, if you're interested and you want to learn more about that, comment below wish list, or wait list, sorry, not wish list. There'll be no wishing. Yeah, comment below wait list, and I will send you a personal message, and I'll be able to put you on the cancellation list if anything comes up for this month. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you found it helpful, just let me know below. Julia Fearon says, accountability was exactly what I needed. Yep, that's what we all need. Everyone needs accountability in their lives, and how we seek that and do that is different for everyone. But, you know, there's some set things. If you're looking for accountability and you're looking to be in a group of people who can really support you and inspire you, I think that's really important, is to be around inspiration and focus on where your energy goes. Because that's a really big part of this as well. Being in an environment that's only supportive and lifts you up is a great place to start. So guys, like I said, if you want to be on the wait list, literally just type below wait list, and yeah, we can have a chat and kind of get you help. Here we go. We've got Julia says, Julia, who's just joined the mentorship program. She goes, I'm feeling much more at peace. I've not had huge changes yet, but I can feel the small changes making a difference already. I'm sure I'll get much better. Yeah. And I mean, you've only been in it for what, 3 weeks or something, and you had the Christmas break. So even just the shifts in your mindset are actually huge, Julia, that I've noticed already inside the group. So amazing. Cool. All right, guys, like I said, comment below waitlist if you want to jump on the waitlist. Otherwise, we will see you very shortly. Have a blessed weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye.